Okay guys, welcome back to JayFix. Today I've got a bit of a repair video for you on the 99 Prelude that I have. We're going to replace this air intake pipe, which is well and truly past its use by date. It started out with a bit of dry rotting up around the throttle body and all that, but last time when I did a major service on this car, actually, I replaced the air filter, and when I did do that, I pulled up on it and a massive crack just decided to turn up here. So we're here today to change this out. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stay tuned. Alright guys, so first things first, we need to get this air filter box out, well at least the lid off it, and you can't just take it out like it is. We've actually got to tilt this battery a little bit or get the battery out of the way. We're lucky enough today, we haven't got the bracket on there, so all we need to do is tilt. But before we even do that, we need to take care of these clips. Now there's 4 clips holding the top of this air filter box on, and they generally can be pulled off by hand, but if that's not the case, then grab yourself a flathead screwdriver, something like this, and just pry them off. They'll come off really easy. That's all you need to do. Once those are off, tilt your battery, get your air filter box out of the way, and that's that done. Right, so next thing, we want to get this old air intake off here. It's held on with a spring. Now there's a couple of different ways you can go about getting this off, but what we're going to do at this moment is just get a screwdriver in there, underneath there, and pry this off. Now if you can't get the screwdriver in there, if you find it's a bit dry or whatever, get some WD or some silicone spray would even be better, and just pry that off. It should come off just like that. So we'll put that aside. Righto, so once we've got the top of the air filter box off, I'm just going to start taking some of these pipes that are attached to the actual air intake. Pretty easy, they just clip out. Alright, so we've got most of the cables off that we need to. We just need to deal with a couple of other little pipes and some electrical connections here. So we have here an electrical connection which we probably should disconnect. It's just a matter of pushing in the sides. It's got a little button on the side that you can probably see there. It clips out easy. We also want to take this off because that's also connected to the air intake. But once you've taken that plug out, you can actually pull that aside, get it out of the way, and we're free to just take this pipe off here next. Give yourself a pair of pliers, give it a squeeze and just put it back like that. Now we're at a stage now where we're just about ready to take this off. All we've got to do is take this hose clamp off here. Now the interesting thing about this hose clamp is it's got a tiny screw, so you may need a screwdriver. It's a bit smaller, something like that. I found this. I know it's an electrical screwdriver, but it seems to fit well, so we'll run with it. One other thing too, before we go ahead and do any of that, now that we've disconnected this, actually it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to disconnect it from here, just to make it easier access to get to the screw, because it's slightly hampered here. So we might go ahead and do that. Just make it loose with your pliers. Grab it the rest of the way. That gives us easier access to this. Crosshead screwdriver, guys. I'm not sure the number of whatever it is, but we loosen that off. There we go. I think that might be loose enough. Now what we'll probably want to do is try and get this pipe out of here like that. It doesn't matter if you damage this at this stage, because it's not coming back onto the car. So simple. A couple of little connections here we've missed. That's all right. Just be careful. Just have a good look around the car. If you see any connections, deal with them as you go. Just take it easy. Now we should, in theory, be able to pull this off. Just need to get a few parts out of the way. And then it's just a matter of just sliding it out. as best you can. Try not to damage anything while you're doing it. Go this way, a bit easier. There we go, guys, that's our prize. Now there is still a few things attached to this that we need to deal with to put onto the new one. So let's go get stuck into that. Okay guys, so after you've cleaned everything, made sure everything's nice and slick, everything's in order, we're ready to install the new one. But before that, we need to change out all the parts. But for you guys at home that are after the genuine Honda one, here's the part number for you guys. So it's just a matter of replacing everything off the old one onto the new one, and then we can get stuck into putting it back together. Okay, so what we want to do is clear up a few little, couple of parts that we need taken off the old one to put onto the new one. Now, first one is this baffle here. We can easily take that off with a 10mm spanner, easy. But the second one is this spring. Now, this spring is can be a pain in the butt basically. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab my screwdriver, get it under there and run it around and pry it off. Right, so once we've recovered the spring that ended up 2 meters down the driveway, we've got to try and get this back on now, and this is where the hard part comes in. So you're just going to have to run with it as best as you can, manhandle it as best as you can, and hope you don't poke your eyes out. Please wear safety glasses. But in this case, we've actually got that on really easy, which is really good. So now we're in a stage where we can start to install. So if you want to get this baffle off, it's just a matter of getting the 10mm spanner on there and loosening off that hose clamp. The other thing that's holding it on is this little clip here. But if you're worried about that at all, run through it with a knife and you'll be able to easily get that off and install it on the new one. Alright, so once you've got yourself cleaned up here with a bit of degreaser or brake clean, it's probably a good idea now that you've got everything taken apart to hit it with some throttle body cleaner and give that a bit of a soak for a bit. So we'll do that right now. Spray a bit in there. Ooh, yeah, and you can see how dirty that is straight off the bat. That is just coming out of there really, really profusely. You can see the rag, it's dirty. Just keep spraying it in there. Wow, that is really dirty. Wipe it out. Things dropping everywhere here, but that's okay. We'll just have to go scout for them later. Also, you can see already how much cleaner that is. What we're going to do is actually later on start the motor up, spray a bit more of this in, and it should clean the inside a bit more better. Just spray some in. Yep. Okay guys, when putting this back together, just a couple of things you need to keep in mind. One of which is this little alignment lug here. You can see on the actual air intake that there's a couple of little alignment sort of things that have got to go into that lug there, so just make sure that you've got that lined up and pushed on enough, and you should be all right. Apart from that, you just go back, put all your clips back together, all your little electrical connections and bits and pieces, and put your air filter lid back on, and I'll see you back here when that's done. Alright guys, we're all back together, everything's put back together, tightened down, whatnot. The improvement look-wise is actually absolutely amazing. Not to mention the fact that it's not going to leak any dust into the engine now, so it's also a bonus as well. But anyway, if you like this video, please consider subscribing and hit that bell so you get notifications on that. Also, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think about my videos, and leave some ideas. Anything you want me to do, let me know down below. Anyway, take care. JayFix.